Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's 100% Metroid Zero Mission. The last part we went around the world getting a basic cleanup for everything else, except for Torian. We are actually coming back down the way we escaped earlier, and as you can see, it's completely freaking destroyed. This is a nice little reference to Super Metroid, actually. I really like this. Also, we have a third kind of acid there. It's only located here after the self-destruct sequence, and it'll still hurt the gravity suit. And it makes me wonder if they had any more plans to do with this stuff because it's only located here. But yeah, I like this little reference. In fact, I think the stage design is almost the exact same it was in Super Metroid, so that's pretty cool. Either way, we are here for two items. One was the missile, Super Missile Pack I believe I just got. And the other requires a bit more trickiness. No, don't save. What am I doing? I don't remember doing that. But what we need to do is that, starting from that save room, because any farther is still normal Torian, we need to start here and run left. Eventually you will build up a speed boost. Charge. Okay, don't charge it. Okay, me. Yeah, you're bad at this game. Charge it up. Go back into the Mother Brain room. And jump up and use the Shine Spark right about where those two things are. You should boost into the main hallway over here. And in that one little block where a Rinka would spawn there on the bottom right is a missile. Actually, if I recall, that's also the last missile tank. Otherwise, the energy tanks aside, everything else is in Chozodia. There's at least one of everything there now. Except for normal missile tanks, I believe. I think that's the number 250. I should be right there. I do like this little reference, though. And plus, the area where that missile tank was, technically speaking, later on, we would come through that room again in Super Metroid, because that's where the Super Metroid Torian exits. I really do dig the references to Super Metroid this game made, because Super Metroid is a very quality Metroid game. This is still my favorite game, but any references to Super Metroid will still make me happy. It's one of the few things I thought that Other M did really well. Mind you, Other M's stage design is fine, even though controlling a 3D character with the D-pad's a bit awkward at first. At least for most players. I had no issue with it because I always used the D-pad, even like Crash Bandicoot, but that game had its slew of issues, but I still think the gameplay itself was fine enough. So let's get back to Chozodia the exact same way we got over there by running into that. I failed there, but oh well. But yeah, if you're good at jumping, and once you get the power grip, you can actually come over here before you even enter Kraid. And you can see this power bomb door over here, which is, in my eyes, really cool, because that means you could have things foreshadowed way ahead of time. Either way, we're back to the final attack because we are now in Chozodia for the rest of the game. The last 4 or 5 items are all here, and we actually technically saw one of them earlier. Because you might remember, there was a power bomb block we saw basically as soon as the Zero mission, the Zero Suit section began. We have to head back over there now. But first, you might remember that there were speed booster blocks at the top of that hallway I was just, the shaft I was just in, rather. We need to speed boost up in order to reach those. Yep, we are done on missiles. So there's just one of every, 2 energy tanks and then one super missile, 1 power bomb. Well, you get to that energy tank that I need to get to right now, though, is just by using this room as a speed booster thing and getting rid of these stupid crab things, because I really do not like these enemies. When they die, they spawn 2 little bullets. That's surprisingly hard to dodge if you're not already in a speed booster mode. I do have to wonder, though, if they ever made another Metroid game, which I really want them to, don't get me wrong, where would it take place? Because I would really finally like a sequel to Fusion, where Samus is some sort of renegade, I suppose. But I also wouldn't mind what they went, because one of my favorite parts about Federation Force actually was the post-credit scene, where it looked like Sylux was back around from Prime Hunters. And I would love to see if they could make like a Prime 4 or something good like that. Mind you, I'll just take any Metroid Elf I can get at this point, similarly to Mega Man, because it's been too long since we got a full main title scene. I mean, sure, I'm an F-Zero fan too, but I'm much more of a Metroid fan than I am F-Zero. I can go without another F-Zero game. Plus, we have the Fast RMX game series thing going on. That's basically F-Zero anyway. And Star Fox at least got Star Fox Guard and Zero, which I didn't think were that bad myself, but keep in mind, I'm someone who didn't grow up playing 64, so I didn't mind the references to it. My Star Fox game growing up was the original on the Super Nintendo, because we had that, and Assaults, and a lot of Adventures. In fact, I actually really like Adventures. Either way, we need to get back towards where we started the entire pirate ship area, so let's head on over there. Thankfully, the route's still basically the same, and we can destroy anything that tries to attack us anyway, so nothing really to fear. You know, I really would actually like to see them try another official remake kind of thing with the Metroid series as well. Not another Metroid 2 remake, even though that's the name of something else entirely. I'd like to see them try and remake something like Super Metroid with the current game mechanics and such. Because that could be cool. I know people would probably say, Super Metroid doesn't need a remake, and you're right, it doesn't, but I'd still like to see one. It's kind of like the whole Final Fantasy VII remake prior to the trailer finally happening, where everyone thought it was never going to happen. It doesn't need a remake, even though it does have some issues. I'd just like to see one myself. Now, Final Fantasy IX. That's one that I think could deserve a remake. Anyway, if you are actually paying attention to the map right now, there's actually also a thing for us in here, and it's the last super missile. So now we're 100% on everything but one last energy tank and one last power bomb. And the last energy tank is in a really stupid position in my eyes, because, well, you'll see it when we get to it. Though I do like this little outside section here, the nice little atmosphere it has going on here. This song actually creeped the hell out of me in my first playthrough. Nowadays, music doesn't get to me as much, at least not in this game, because when I think of a good atmospheric soundtrack for a horror game, Silent Hill 2 or The Evil Within had some good ambiance with that, actually. Mind you, The Evil Within actually managed to kind of scare me a little bit, mostly with that girl who was constantly on fire because she was a creepy crawly. Final boss was really bizarre, though. Like, what the hell even was that thing? Are they going to make a sequel to The Evil Within? I'd like to see that, because that game ended on a weird sequel-bait thing. Either way, enough tangents. We have the last power bomb, we're just missing the last energy tank, and in order to get that, we actually need to head towards Endgame anyway, so let's head on back towards the cockpit. You can take any route you want to getting there. It's a fairly lengthy trek in comparison to some other things we've already seen anyway, but I can handle it pretty well, I think. I actually forget how much damage the space pirate beams do at this point. 50 damage by the looks, if that was at least the beam and not him touching me. Which is still pretty a decent chunk of damage, don't get me wrong, but I have better ways to deal with it. Mind you, Zero Mission, actually, in terms of difficulty, I already mentioned hard mode, but I think Zero Mission is one of the few games that, like, no matter what version you're playing, like Japanese, American, European, has stuff locked behind certain difficulties. I'll get more into that during the credits, though. Oh, actually, that's the thing I'm surprised I haven't mentioned yet. You could actually link this game up to Fusion using a Game Boy Advance link cable. And you remember the Japanese exclusive endings I showed off at the end of Fusion, which was like the one of like Samus thinking about her past with Ridley killing her family, being raised by the Chozos and such. You could actually unlock that in this game by linking it up with Fusion. It was basically the way we got to see those. Which is cool. I kind of still wish we had gotten the other endings, but, well, in, like, a way to get them in-game, but at least we still got them. Also, I'm coming up on my last save because the last energy tank is right before the final boss. If you look at the hallways above me, it's in one of those. The stupid thing is, you need the power bomb to get through one of those. That's the entire reason you need the power bomb, is just to get to the final boss. Which makes me think that the power bomb was probably one of the last things they decided to add from Super Metroid. Mind you, the power bombs don't really do much in the game aside from getting you more power bombs and get you through that one actual passageway, because I don't even think it does damage to the final boss. So, kind of pointless in the long run. Fusion used them a lot better in my eyes, but it's something to collect, so I don't mind too much. This is the room with the final energy tank in it. We are 2 before the final boss. Well, you get it. First off, you need to do a little Shine Spark jump, Speed Booster jump into that. And now there's 2 ways you can get it. It's on the bottom right of this room. However, below me is nothing but the little beams that start up the alarm system and make those shutters fall down. There's a shutter right before the energy tank right there. You can either do what I just did and Shine Spark to the right through it, or you could very carefully time space jumps through it. When I first played the game, I did the space jump method, and that took forever, so I don't recommend it. Either way, we're right before the final boss, so get yourselves ready for something completely pointless, really, because it's a pathetically easy final boss. Usually. There is one stipulation with it I'll go over in a moment. Alright. Where are ya? Metal clanging sounds. Where are you? Ah, there you are. What are you? Ridley? Final boss is Robo Ridley, which is actually not supposed to be like Ridley revived. Apparently Ridley's such an egomaniac. Sakamoto even confirmed he made his own little robot thing. And Robo Ridley is easy unless you have 100%. When you get 100%, his damage and health are tripled. And as you can see, he now does about an energy tank of damage. I think this attack's exclusive to him on the 100% mode version. This can actually be a pretty hard boss. Super missiles are recommended just because they do the most damage. And every now and then, that little thing on his back will open up, and it will shoot out 3 missiles. You can use those to get some refills if you need it. It's still not a very hard final boss, even with the tripled health and damage, but it can still be pretty annoying if you're not watching out and being careful. Kind of a disappointing final boss, given the fact that Mother Braden was pretty cool and all, but I still like it. Really good remix of Ridley's theme for it, too. Ha! Suck it, Ridley! You died to me twice in one game. Oh, health. Sweet. Okay, the door's locked. What? Uh-oh. That's not good. Another self-destruct sequence! We have 5 minutes to get back towards where that space pirate ship that was on the map was. And this is actually a pretty generous time limit, honestly. Yet again, like Fusion, I think they probably could have cut down on it by a bit. Maybe 4 minutes instead of 5, but I can see why they did it. I'm not sure if the time does change on the difficulties. I don't think it does. In terms of what's going to be in your way during the sequence, nothing much. If you just run, you'll make it with time to spare. But they do give you a few speed booster passageways to make it go just a bit faster. It's one of the easiest escape sequences in the series, but mind you, even on normal mode, I think Metroid Zero Mission's probably the easiest Metroid game. Because enemies have bosses rather, have so little health, and they give you the good linearity system of telling you where to go but not how to get to it, and even then you can skip most of that. Hardest Metroid game is, well, officially released at least, probably Prime 2, just due to how that game's set up. Come on, Gonk Droid, get on my way. Go, 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 go. Now, what I'm about to do is something I failed in my original 2 playthroughs, and that's doing the Shine Spark chain towards the end. You don't have to do this because you might remember the room right before this next shaft, where I had to jump all up and down and all around through it. You can Shine Spark through some blocks in it on the way out, and it's recommended just because it saves you a little bit of time, but honestly, it's not very mandatory. It's actually easier to do if you do a Morph Ball Shine Spark, though, from my experience. Whee! Ow. And now we're coming up on what is honestly a bit of a harder fight even than the final boss, at least if on the non-100% version. 2 Master Pirates. These guys have a lot of health. Just spam your button, though, and you should kill them fairly easily. Once you kill them, that door to our right will open, and we'll have access to the space pirate ship, which will hopefully accept our inputs. Come on, gotta go, gotta go, gotta go, gotta go, gotta go, gotta go. Out of my way. Oh, thank you. And ladies and gentlemen, that's 100% Metroid Zero Mission. Going for 100% in this game is kind of a different beast than playing it normally, but I'd still say it's a very rewarding experience. Zero Mission is still my favorite Metroid game to this date. Honestly, it even knocked down Final Fusion down to number 2 as a solid thing. Because I just love the way this game's levels are designed. Because you can go through so many different pathways, and I absolutely love that. The soundtrack especially got a godly upgrade compared to the original, as you probably noticed. Especially the credits music. Oh my god, they treated it so well. And now in terms of ending images, I got what's technically considered Ending 4, which is less than 2 hours with 100% items, normal mode only. Now, not going over the ending image I'm going to get, there are 8 different ending images you can get in this game. Ending 8, which is over 4 hours on any difficulty, or the only ending for easy mode, where she remains sitting on a rock. Ending 7 is 2 to 4 hours on normal and hard mode only, where she's basically slow pan up of helmetless Samus looking over a landscape. Ending 6 is over 2 hours normal and hard mode, where she's a zero suit looking like she's going to turn around. Ending 5 is similar to the one I'm going to get. It's under 2 hours, 100% items normal and hard mode. It cuts to a slow pan up of suitless Samus just in the middle of a town. Ending 4 is the one I'm getting. Ending 3 is under 2 hours, 100% items hard mode only, which is basically a similar one to the one I just described, only it's over a landscape image instead. And then there's ending 1 and 2, which are 15% or less items on hard mode or normal mode. The normal mode one is basically the suit I'm going to be showing you at the end here, crouched on a windowsill. Pretty cool looking. And then ending 1 is the most badass of all. It's a gravity suit Samus with zero suit Samus behind her in just this really badass pose, but that's 15% less or less items on hard mode, which I've only done once, and it's a pain in the ass. But I absolutely love Zero Mission. I actually really recommend you go and play it. It's a fantastic game. That is my best time for a 100% run ever. Also, this is where that alternate costume for Samus came from in Smash 4. Either way, ladies and gentlemen, that's 100% Zero Mission. It feels so good to finally see that on this channel. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a great night. Take care. Next up, as I've mentioned, is a certain fan game. It's time for another Metroid 2 remake, because that game is fantastic and needs some love. Thank you guys for watching, and see you guys then.